What comes to mind when you think about 3D? Most people think of 3D as being a picture or video that pops out showing depth.
In actuality, being 3D is defined as the use of an x-axis, a y-axis, and a z-axis, the z-axis being the one that shows depth.
Take a look at this coordinate plane. As you can see, this one only uses an x and a y-axis.
Now we move on to the second one. On this coordinate plane, in addition to the x and y axis, it also uses the z-axis, which is what shows depth. These are the differences between 2D and 3D.
Video games are games that use human interaction with a user interface, that show results on a video screen. Some of the first video games were on very old computers and used cartridges. Video games would be put on computers for many, many years. Video games really got popular after the video game crash in 1977 ended, which led up to the new video game console being released. In 1985, Nintendo would release the Famicom, or Family Computer. This console was revolutionary, as it was the console that started the takeover of gamepads over joysticks.
One of, if not the first, of 3D video gaming on a home computer was with the game 3D Monster Maze. The game was made in 1982 by one of the men in the team for J.K. Gray Software, Malcolm Evans, who was born in the UK on April 10, 1944. It's basically a game where you run away from a dinosaur in a 16 by 16 randomly generated maze made of 22 different pseudo-graphics, shown to the top left. You run for the exit, and the faster you find it, the more points you get. This game was known for being one of the earliest first-person perspective used games in history.
The first generation of complete 3D video gaming starts with the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 was released here on March 1st in 1997. The N64 used ROM cartridges which stored all of the save data for a game. It sold over 30 million units worldwide and was the first Nintendo console that had full 3D gaming. The PlayStation 1 was released on September 9th, 1995 here in America. Unlike the N64, the PlayStation 1 used memory cards for save data and ran off games off CDs, which allowed more room for games which gave it better graphics. It had sold over 100 million units worldwide.
The second generation of 3D video games started around the new millennium. The systems in this era all ran off some kind of DVD except for the Sega Dreamcast that ran off of CDs. The PS2 and Xbox both used DVDs while the Nintendo GameCube used mini DVDs. These are all a step up from their predecessor because of the rise in the media they used for their console. The Dreamcast was thought to be held back because it used CDs when all the other consoles used DVDs. The PlayStation 2 console from Sony, which is the console used for the set of games shown here, sold almost more than 5 times the consoles than any other for that time. It peaked at over 140 million console sales worldwide, making it the most sold console of all time. Although it sold the most, doesn't mean it had the best graphics. Some games that were originally made for the Xbox had to be downscaled to run on the GameCube and PS2. The third generation of 3D gaming is what we live in today. The systems we use right now are the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the Wii. Right now, video games are pretty much at the peak of how close they can look to reality. The major cause of this is the rise of the Blu-ray disc. The Blu-ray disc holds up to 25 gigabytes on a single layer disc and 50 on a dual layer disc. The Blu-ray disc is only used on the PlayStation 3, which gives it the upper hand graphic-wise for this generation, but also made it cost the most originally. It's called the Blu-ray because the laser used to read the disc is blue instead of red, which is you can see.
There are many programs used today to make computer-generated 3D animations. Many different companies interested in making these graphics use Autodesk Maya.
Maya was originally made by a company named Elias Systems Corporations, but was later bought by Autodesk.
Maya is a combination of two older programs, named Wavefront and Alias Power Animator. Basically in Maya, the user connects different polygons together to make an object, and then from there, they can do what they want.